Hello there. Uh, there's been I had this idea to just maybe have some people come in, and talk about their experiences, and maybe maybe get a little discussion going about some of the similarities between people that are targeted. Um, uh, not not really a scheduled topic, just anything anybody wanted to talk about. Um, would have to do with what's happening to them, or something they might have learned, or maybe some information they want to impart to other target people. Um, the the community of TIs and on YouTube and wherever else. Um, I had someone um, email me talking about how some of the things that I've talked about are happening to them. And, if anybody else has anything they'd like to talk about, that's pretty much what we're going to do tonight. Uh, you don't have to have, you know, um, uh, defined idea or whatever. Just if there's something that you want to come up here and talk about, and we can discuss it. And um, because some of the hardest things for being a target to do is getting someone to listen to you or be able to talk to you about being targeted. It's hard to get anybody to open up and listen, and usually if it's another person that is experiencing what you're experiencing, or something similar anyway, you're able to talk about it, and you know uh, get a sympathetic ear rather than just um, not be able to say anything to anyone at all. So I posted the link there, and if anybody would like to come up and talk, or have anything they'd like to say, they can do that. But first off, I'm pretty much going to talk about what's going on with me, maybe to get it started, get the ball rolling. The last episode that last live I had, I spoke about the dream manipulation, and how they're able to hello there, TI News, about how they like to mess with you while you're sleeping, and play around with your dreams, and stream their broadcast around your dream, and stuff that they implant in it, or whatever they do with it. Well, I had someone say that they're doing the same thing to them, and uh, I figured that maybe we could converse or discuss these happenings together, like a panel. It's a lot easier to talk rather than it is to sit here and type out a question or a comment in the chat over here and try and get an answer from, say, me or whoever else is presenting the video. It's a lot easier to, actually be verbal and see each other or whatever, actually kind of like have a conversation. So I see there's 4 people in here. If there's anybody else that wants to come up here and maybe begin a dialogue, let's you're welcome to come up. I mentioned about the dream manipulation, and that was the last topic of my last video. How when they have you being remote neural monitored, they tend to the gang stalkers tend to like to now I'm not certain whether they get paid by people that they are able to get to act out a scenario within what it's like a movie that they present, and how they're trying to do it is invariably kind of like they're trying to present it as something real that's happening to you, but it's just a well, if you want to come in, news, that's the link. If you want to come up and talk for a while, that's fine too. No pressure, but I don't know if you personally have been subjected to the RNM while you're sleeping, and how they'll basically mess with you while you're sleeping. And I've woken up in the midst of some of their streams, and threw it off for them because they're trying to present, oh, that you're in the midst of doing something heinous or something sexual or something weird or whatever, and they're trying to say that this is you doing this and that and whatever. And when all it ever really is a deep fake type scenario that they are manipulating via their broadcast or their stream or whatever, through augmented reality, VR, and remote neural monitoring. Now, as I said in the last video, they'll implant the gang stalkers themselves. They'll implant themselves in a skit or a script that involves you and them together. And I'm of the opinion that it is to make them look like Usually it's to make them look like like they're a good person or a good guy or whatever. Um, yeah, about that, the sleep deprivation. I had that for uh, quite a while last year, where I didn't sleep even a wink for almost a full year, and I literally mean no sleep. I don't mean that I slept for a little bit. I mean I didn't sleep at all. 24 hours a day for several months. Um, it was anywhere. The actual dates from date to date, I can't tell you, but it was pretty much the whole year. And my wife can corroborate that because she was saying, "Are you ever going to come to bed?" And here you go. There was no sleep. There was no sleep. Just the the sleep deprivation was continuous and 24/7 for months on end. But here lately, even though I have, and I do experience insomnia, um, the last few months I've slept quite a bit. I guess maybe because my body's trying to catch up, um, and get a little sleep. Um, um, I'm pretty much a night owl now, where I stay up most of the night and sleep part of the day. Um, but it doesn't really they aren't really bombarding me, I guess, as much as they have been with the V2K for the last few weeks, to a month or so. And but as I said, when you get ready to go lay down, then they get really, they get quite a bit more obnoxious with it, and try to instigate an argument with you or whatever via V2K to present to their viewers or whoever the peoples are that they're trying to convince that you're this horrible person. Um, they seem to eh, eh, want to cause you not to be able to sleep, or to have you aggravated as you go to sleep, so that it's maybe easier for them to manipulate what it is that during your dream state they're able to um, inject into your dream or whatever. Maybe so that you're thinking about them as you're going to sleep, and making it easier for them to use the the social cues and add themselves. I don't know for sure, but well, that's something they will do too, right there. What you said. Or the worst thing is waking up too early. They'll wake you up at 4 in the morning. Now, I'm in California. You're also in California, so when you mean early, you probably do mean, like I say, 4 o'clock in the morning, because I believe they're trying to accommodate the Eastern Standard Time, and they'll wake you up at the crack of dawn, wherever, so they can cover the prime time waking up, morning hours of America. That's if you're, in this part of the world. I imagine they probably do the same thing in other countries and whatever, to try and maximize the time that they can get the early morning hours, and it's to cause you to, like you said, sleep deprivation. And um, with sleep deprivation, it does have an adverse effect on the rest of your day. If you hadn't got enough sleep, you're not going to be in top form, and you're going to be struggling throughout the day trying to stay awake or whatever. Oh, then okay. Well, let me go ahead and put the link up again since it didn't make it into the chat. Here's the link if anybody would like to come up. And but like you say, the it is really hard the way they structure it, and for a long time they were streaming while I was sleeping, and using their actor or whoever it was impersonating me, where they'll in part use, you know, your thoughts or your rebuttal, and manipulate those to further their spiel. They were doing a lot of crap that had to do with religion for a while, trying to make it like they were, um, you know, one, for lack of a better term, like they were, you know, trying to beat the devil or whatever out of you or whatever. How you doing, this?
Yeah, test 1 2.
And it was every day. It was an everyday thing that they would do, and it happened every morning for like for a long time, where they would wake me up at like, I don't know, 3 or 4 in the morning with this, and like they were having a program like Jerry Springer or something, and about me.
Yeah, everything's at 4 o'clock. Same here every morning. It's either
4 o'clock, right?
three to
Four.
4.
If you're in the West Coast, they're gonna nail you at 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
It's like
because
right
they get up at 7 or 8, whatever their time zone. So they got to do it at 4. It blows.
yeah. It's just like every morning too. They do it every morning, even if they're not doing the scheduled stream thing like they were for. I mean, they were making a story out of it.
I think 6 out of 7 days per week. It's always 4. Always.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
With me though, on Saturday and Sunday, they don't stop from like Friday night on till Sunday night.
I usually get
They
one
don't.
one
They
day
don't
off.
stop.
I'll get one day off. I think
Oh,
Sundays. Let me give me a break on Sunday.
well, you're lucky, I guess, but they just go all the way through the weekend, from like late Friday night when I go to bed till Sunday night. And it's really the worst is Saturday in the afternoon. Is really when they get really like there's more of them together obnoxiously playing their games.
Yeah, they did it last night. My God, it's hard sleep.
Here, you want to answer RX7's question?
Let me go see. I'm gonna go back to the chat here. RX7. I used to have an RX7 car. If you name
Yeah,
yourself after that, I used to have a Mazda. That's all.
right. Nice car.
Had a
I
rotary
don't.
engine.
I personally don't have an opinion because I don't uh, have an opinion on the Muslim religion. I don't have an opinion on Christianity. I don't have an opinion on.
Neither do I.
I don't really give a damn what your religion is.
And once you're targeted in the program, it doesn't matter. All that stuff's not going to save you.
Well, I have noticed that they'll use your religion against you.
Exactly. But if you don't have one, they can't do it.
Well, they try to do the opposite. Then they try to make you
Give
look
you
like a
one.
heathen.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
try to give you a religion that you don't
they
want.
trying to make you a heathen that way and pretend like they're religious, which they're not.
Preach it. Preach on you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If you're not religious, they'll act like they're preaching and they're giving the sermon to you or whatever, and that's the thing. But if you are religious, they're going to do the other stuff and pretend like, oh, they're God talking to you. And I've seen a lot of people being misdirected in that sense, that they think that that these voices they're hearing are coming from God.
Oh no, they're not. They're coming
No, they're
from a
not.
machine. They're a machine generated
No, they're
AI.
people.
AI
They are.
machine.
I will tell you this, though, news. They are people. They are people, and they're working in conjunction with an AI program. But they are people. That's not. It's not all an AI program. I'm absolutely certain of that. There are actual people because I know some of them, and I know what they're doing most of the time. Um, they they're doing this for profit. It's all to somehow steal your intellectual property or whatever from and use you as their storyline, like I said, like kind of like a Jerry Springer show.
And some are higher on the list. They go after others deeper than others do. I think the
Well,
younger ones, I don't know if they target as bad.
like I said, I've been experiencing V2K and heavy remote neural monitoring for 3.5 years now.
I get the really bad ringing in my ear, or it won't let me sleep. It's
But
severe.
you're not getting V2K.
No, no,
They're not
no,
screaming at you.
no. I
They're
get
not
no,
talking
no.
shit at you all day,
I get the
24/7.
hacking, the ear ringing. It's nonstop.
I get the hacking, the ear ringing, but I'm also getting the V2K where they're talking all the
Yeah,
time,
I don't get the
and
talking.
the other stuff, the visuals. I don't. You're not gonna like those when they start giving you those.
Yeah, don't get those. And you get the
You're not gonna.
mobbing in the street theater for sure.
Well, you're not gonna like if you ever do get subjected to um the the dream manipulation and the images that they like to present. They're usually pretty disgusting, designed to cause um, some sort of an emotional response. But like I said, I've been experiencing them for like it's going on 4 years now.
Well, you look at the chat. Okay, there's a guy named Arc 7. He's never been in a TI chat before. And what's
Well,
your opinion on Muslims? What kind of question is that? It has nothing to do with your topic.
that's a troll question, in my opinion. But I have a lot of that. They'll come in and ask what my opinion is on whatnot. Ask my opinion about something like it has anything to do with anything. But it's they troll me a lot like that. I've even had people come into the chat actually, threatening to come burn my house down and stuff.
Oh
So
God.
yeah, no, really, I'm not kidding.
I've already had a couple death threats. One guy says
Oh,
kill myself and they're gonna do this.
I
It
get
goes
that too, but right in the chat, it's not like they're afraid to threaten your life in your chat,
I
and
don't know
that's what
why
they're
they do it. I think this paid trolls. I don't know.
and they were threatening random people in the chat because they were in here saying, "Oh, because you're watching him, we're going to start targeting you." I was like,
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. They, I'm a hard target. I'm definitely one of their hard targets. Um,
I think you've been on
but
here a while, right? A long time now. A couple years.
a couple years now, yeah. I,
You,
I was,
you
I
seen
had
this?
no internet for a year, right? Almost a year, and they were impersonating me even
Holy
while I
shit!
was when I was off the internet. Yeah, they were impersonating me using recorded video of me and other stuff. And
Wow.
yeah, for after they hacked my computer, and not having my computer, I went ahead and didn't need the internet because my wife's computer wasn't working either. So we went without internet for like, I think it was like 9 months.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
And when I came back on, I found some of these videos. I found a couple of them where they were, presenting themselves as me on Zoom or on Google Hangouts, and and I found them. I presented the evidence of it, and you can tell this stuff to YouTube. You can have proof of it, and they're not going to do jack shit. They're not gonna ban them. They're not gonna make them stop. They're not gonna do anything to do it.
Well, here I got some answer on his opinion on Muslims. We Googled it. Okay, I can put it in the chat here.
Oh, good.
What Google says. I don't have no opinion.
This is Google's opinion of Muslims.
Yeah, I can't quite get it. It won't fit all the way, so we're gonna have to.
I'll put it in.
Out. I got some. You want to put it in?
Yeah, I'll put it on top.
I can put it in the back chat. Maybe it'll fit back there. It's in the back chat.
Just put it out in the regular.
It won't fit. It's too long.
Part of it.
Yeah, I'll do
cut it in half, and then I'll post both of them. Split it into 2 parts, and we'll
43.
We'll present it. Give him
satisfaction here.
Yeah, give him a little satisfaction.
All right, thank you. We'll go back to 43. Oh, I gotta get rid of 4 more.
Okay, there's the first half. Public attitude about Muslims and Islam have grown more negative in recent years. About 4 in 10 Americans, 43%. 43% say they have a favorable opinion of Muslims, while 35% express a negative view. Opinion about Muslims, on balance, was somewhat more positive in 2004, 48% favorable versus 32% unfavorable. Those are statistics from, you say here, 2004.
Yeah, Google.
Yeah.
That was after the plane.
I've known a couple people that are Muslim. They're no different than you are. Other than the fact that, they have their religion, they're still people. One was my neighbor for quite a long time. And other than the fact that they tell you they're a Muslim, it doesn't, bleed out in, you know what I mean? It doesn't. It's not like, oh, you can tell they're a Muslim.
There's Indians. There's Indians too, and there's all kinds of related religions. So who knows what they all are?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Well, that in India, there's Hindu, Buddhism,
right.
Taoism. There's 4 or 5 different religions spread out in just that one country. They do have some Christians. Now, as I was talking about with my wife the other day, atheism, or none, should I say, no religion, is one of the top. There's more people that have none or claim not to believe in a religion.
Right. I'm in close to that category
than anyone else.
I'm close to that.
Then there's Hindu, which is second. Basically, it's the top religion. Hindu has the highest statistical numbers of people that practice that religion.
You better get rid of that comment there. They're going to flag your chat down.
What's that?
You got a spammer in the chat. You better get rid of it. You better get rid of all those.
I don't care. I'm going to let him spam.
We'll shut your chat down.
I'm going to post his spam here.
Shut your chat down for that vaccine. Big Mike's going to get you shut down.
Oh, that's all right. I don't care.
I agree with what he says.
I don't care.
I don't agree with get vaccinated.
But if he does it one more time, I'm going to hide his chats.
Yeah, he probably should.
I'm gonna hide everything
If
from
it-
you. Do it one more time, big monkey Mike. Thank you.
he wants to get you. Big Mike wants to get you.
Okay, yeah, you're out of here,
He's a
buddy.
troll.
Bye.
He's going to try to get you reported with that vaccine crap. Get your channel shut down.
Hi, Cy.
Big Mike's a meanie.
I just blocked his ass.
Look how many he had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I
Wow.
blocked him.
Yeah.
But
But what they do, they'll post that in there and they'll report to you.
He says he put cucumbers in his butt. I'm gonna leave that up.
You can have a carrot. Give him a carrot.
You know, pickles are just drunk cucumbers.
Give Big Mike the carrot.
I tried to block it. It won't.
That's a good one to leave there. He puts cucumbers in his butt.
Yeah, I should leave that there. I'll leave that one up.
That's funny.
I'm gonna leave that up. How you doing, Cy? Want to come up and chat with us?
Yeah, we're bullshitting.
I know you have some experiences you'd like to relate. Haven't seen a video from you in a while.
Open mic.
Yeah, that's what's going on here. This is
Random chat.
Random TI chat.
Yep. I did a live earlier in downtown San Jose, and I talked about the new. They have the new case that came out here in California today. The first strain case.
About what?
Fauci announced that he wants everybody to get the third jab because the new case came in California. Oh, yeah. You see it on the news?
Well, because of the Omicron, the new variant coming out.
Yeah.
They want you to get a booster.
It made it here. The guy from Ecuador brought it here in California. First one today.
Oh, they actually got somebody that can't bring it here?
Yep, they did.
Uh-oh.
It was big news in the morning. So I was bitching about it on my live.
I'll have to look at that. I didn't see it, or I would have looked. I pretty much try to, check everybody's lives out and see what they're talking about.
It was on Fox News. I just talked about it on my live tonight. I had nothing else to talk about.
I don't watch Fox News, but I
watch it in the morning for traffic, so I got to go to work. The morning traffic.
I pretty much don't watch the mainstream news unless of course there's like something serious going on, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Otherwise
the world is burning down. There's
always otherwise I don't need to hear about I don't know when they're talking about
usually it's a school shooting or this one got kidnapped,
something like that. If there's something major going on that might affect the populace, and that other than that I don't really I'll look at it if we're having bad weather or something, but I'm not going to bother sitting there and listening to them unless it's something about like new updates on the issues with the government going on or whatever, something like that. I'll check it out. But
we can talk about the community a little bit. This TI community is pretty whacked. I gotta agree. There's some people out there that just want to destroy other TIs. Like everybody has.
I've been noticing that too. There's a lot of us that have seen that it's like I don't know for certain if it really was T.I. Tony, but somebody using his icon and his name came in here, and I was like, oh, there's a T.I. I've heard of him, and I put him up on the panel, and he came off with some racist crap, calling me an N-word and all this, and I immediately booted his ass.
He don't talk that kind of talk.
Well, that's why I'm saying. That's why I was saying it's somewhat that just helps him because I put them up there and I'm like, I don't really think this is him. and somebody impersonating him. That's what I'm talking
Oh
about
yeah.
here. When when you have someone that has established themselves as a TI, and then you have somebody come in representing themselves as that TI
The
and
slander.
talking some really whack shit, right?
There's a lot of hate.
It it
Here's-
it, it lends credence to what I've presented before about the impersonation, how they'll deep fake you.
You still got a copy of that? Or did you get rid of it?
What?
No, him coming up.
Oh yeah, well it's on one of my videos.
Okay. Yep.
I,
Maybe you.
I don't take any of my videos down. I had some trolls coming in, like I said, some of the same people that were coming in threatening me, telling me, well, we don't know how you stayed under the radar so long, but you need to bring your gang stalking stuff, all your videos down,
What?
take them all down, or we're going to target you even harder. And I'm like,
Really? Who said
bring it.
that?
I'm like, bring it. Come target me harder.
Oh, boy.
You're just you're just making it easy for me.
It can't be any worse than it is now.
Really? No, no.
All you do is just shut YouTube off for a couple of days and come right back. It's like it doesn't phase me.
I don't even bother. I just keep doing my thing, whether they come in and
Yeah, if they come and do all that crap, I'll take a
guys
day
like
off.
guys like Cucumber Butt here.
Oh God,
all the time,
Big Mike.
all the
Let's give a
time.
hand for Big Mike. Who do you think Big Mike is?
Um, who do I think he
Big
is?
Mike. Who is Big Mike?
Well, I will tell you, I have a few people that I know are targeting me that their first name is Mike,
Big Mike.
and I mean a few, at least 4 people that their first name is Mike.
Oh man, we got 4 Mikes. So you got
Yeah,
4 cucumbers.
I know they are targeting me, and I know their full names. Blah blah blah.
Damn.
I have a person named John. I know that is targeting me, and I know his full name. And I know some of the people that are targeting me, and they're right here in close proximity to my residence.
That close? Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, next door even.
Like neighbors.
Right next door.
So they know you run a YouTube channel and they troll you.
Yeah.
Ah.
Certainly. They troll me outside even.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they troll me outside when I go to the trash
You gotta
can.
get. You
When I
need to
go
get
to
a
the mail,
video.
when I go to the mailbox.
You gotta get some video of that.
Um,
Get some body cams going.
well, they won't do anything. They won't do anything when they know I'm going to be videoing.
You gotta
I've
do.
taken my-
You gotta have a hidden camera because they see you with
I've
a
taken my
camera.
phone. Well, it can't be hidden. That's just it. You can't hide from. I can't hide this from them since they're remote neural monitoring me. They know anything I'm going to do. You understand what I mean?
Well, it was like me tonight, right? I did a random live. I didn't even plan on doing it. I just drove down the street and turned the camera on without even thinking about it, and I didn't get no harassment.
You didn't give them any indication you were going to do it.
No,
Yeah,
I just did it.
so-
I was going to go home. I took a left turn instead of going down the freeway and turned on the camera, and didn't
Now
get no bother.
what you said right there is about the only time I can get away with stuff like that. Like I could sit here right now, even while you're on. I don't know if you've looked at any of my videos.
You're on. You're on. You're on.
Where I do the recordings, where I record the V2K live right here on my channel.
Really?
Yeah, you haven't seen those?
I think I've seen one.
Okay, look. You need to go back and start from early on in when I started getting targeting and go through some of those videos. You're going to see some weird shit. You're going to see remote neural monitoring caught live as it happens. You're going to see V2K recorded live right in front of you.
Well, you should do a best of and post it. Mix them together and mash it.
I might just do that. I might go through my videos and do an hour segment of the captures I've done and some of the threats from the chat, the stuff like that, and
Yeah.
all the evidence, where I found a video that I made. It's called V2K short of a recording of V2K. They took that video and posted it on another website. I've only got like 27 to 28 views on my page, but on this other page that this website they put it on. It has 2.6 million views.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, 2.
What is it on?
Huh?
What site is it on?
Well, the reason I found it, I was Googling. I Googled myself. I randomly Google myself to see what's going on with myself. And I found it.
It kind of sucks. You're not getting that revenue.
And I found that there's someone with my name that plays with the LA Galaxy. And I found that there's someone with my name that lives in Newport Beach, a younger kid. Same exact name. Now, look at my name and,
a hard name.
My name.
My actual, especially that last name here. That's a rare one.
That's what I'm talking about. There's only 171 people in the world,
have that last name
in the world with my last name. Right. Now, 3 of them live here in Los Angeles.
Oh my God!
And the other 2 have the same first name.
Damn.
Yeah, their identity.
Clones.
Yeah, duh.
Clones. Yeah,
exactly.
clones.
And like I said, one plays for the LA Galaxy, which is a soccer team.
Crazy.
You can look up fantasy football. My name is included in fantasy football.
And they're making all the profit off you. You ain't making. They're getting all the views.
Well, like I've said, I wrote the song that they named Like a Stone.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Audio Slave named the song Like a Stone. They stole it from me in Long Beach in 2000. I wrote the song. I wrote all the lyrics. I sang all the lyrics. I did all the guitar.
What did you do it on YouTube and they ripped it off?
No. The problem is I didn't have a recording anymore because the recording I had of it was on a computer that I don't have anymore.
Yeah, I got a lot of those problems.
But they recorded it on a boombox. And they changed like 4 words. And that's all they did.
Wow.
But the music that I have been writing before I sat here and I started playing it, live and recording it, they were stealing that too. I was walking around in Winco thinking of a song called Perp World, right? It's on YouTube now.
Perp World. I was watching YouTube the other day. I went back to some archives, and there was just the guy back in the old days, right? They had gang stalking in 2014 or 2011.
Uh-huh.
I was watching this debate, and this one guy was all mad because this guy called the Perp Police was on him. This is way back then. I was going to do a show on it. The Perp Police. He's gone now, though.
Right.
He had the name Perp Police. This is weird.
But they've been doing this a long time. Now the covert part that they were doing, and stealing from me 20 years ago, 21 years ago now, stealing music and stuff from me. And when I first showed up on YouTube, there's Mo. Hello, Mo. Glad to see you. I was hoping you'd show up.
Hi, Scott. I actually just woke up.
That's okay. That's okay.
What do we got? Who do we got here?
I was basically doing this for you in the first place, Mo, so you could have a chance to talk to other TIs, and I know you were saying that you were having the same stuff with the dreams on the video I did last, and I would just like to hear some of your experiences, and maybe if I can give you some insight.
Yeah, actually, last night after I listened to your broadcast on it, I had watched a movie, and then when I went to sleep, I woke up early this morning, like around 3:00.
Well, that's what we were just talking about, that how they wake you up really early. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was laying there. I wasn't like fully awake, and I realized, like, I knew that they were messing with my dreams and stuff, but I didn't. I was paying attention to, because of what I had heard you say about it. I was paying attention, I realized that they were actually putting stuff onto something else.
They're not actual. They're not actual dreams you're having. Those are implants that they are focusing into you.
Yeah, and it was sexual in nature and
And
stuff,
they're
and I
really
was like,
vivid, and you remember everything.
right, right,
Unlike a real dream, where you don't remember half the shit.
right, right, right. And yeah, so it's been like about 7 years since they started, um, since this whole thing started with me. And it's been, gosh, about maybe 5.5 to 6 years since I actually started with the voices and that kind of thing.
Where they scream at you to wake you up and that.
Yeah, well, I specifically remember when I very first realized that they could actually watch me and I could hear their voice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I specifically remember like that very day when I first had realized they were doing that. And I was like looking around my place. Um, I moved from Hawaii. I used to live in Hawaii. And I was like looking around my place. Where are they looking at me from? Like they got to be seeing what I'm doing because they're saying this and that. And I'm like looking around. I'm going, what the heck? You know?
Yeah.
And saying stuff about me as I laid on the couch and like, oh, she's so beautiful, my, all this crap stuff. And I was like, what the heck? Where are they? And that kind of freaked me out. And
Yeah. They don't need cameras.
Yeah, and I
They don't.
used to be really, really scared actually. Um, like they have scared me so badly in the past that I remember one night I cried for like hours because I just didn't know what to do.
Damn.
Yeah, and I mean, they were literally, it was like they were outside my window. There were actually, I heard noises, rocks and stuff hitting the side of
I
my
hate that. That's
house.
horrible.
Yeah,
Those
and
those noises
I've had the
are
rock on
fake.
my roof.
Those noises are fake.
yeah,
Most of that stuff is fake.
yeah, and I didn't know it at the time because I mean, I've since learned a lot, but I got to the point where I just said one day, I was like, forget this. I am not doing this anymore. I'm tired of being afraid. I'm not going to live my life like this anymore. If you're going to kill me, then just do it. I'm not going to be afraid of it. I'm just going to do what I need to do to live my life. And I basically got brave.
Right. You get desensitized to the
You get
terror.
tired of it all too after a while. It's just like you just almost give up with responding to it.
Right. Yeah. And, but then, so what happened was because I used to do caregiving and I was renting this place. I lived in Hawaii almost 50 years.
50?
And yeah.
What island?
And
What island were you on?
Maui.
Okay, I was on Kauai when I was little.
Oh, really? Yeah, I used to live on Oahu, and then like 89, I believe it was, I moved over to Maui. And then I moved to Oklahoma to take care of one of my sisters last July, a year ago, this past July. And she since passed away about a month ago. And so now I'm in Texas, but it's like I'm going from that when it first started. It's like had gotten so afraid that I moved from that place, that one spot, because it was every single night I mean, I actually had monitors in my windows and stuff, and they would shine the flashlights. That's when they were doing the, yeah, that's when they were doing the heavy, at nighttime, I'd watch them in the dark, sneaking from tree to tree, coming over to my place
Oh,
and stuff.
geez. Were you
Yeah,
by
it was.
yourself?
Can I say something?
Uh-huh.
Um, when you said it was your sister passed
Hmm.
away. Did they do the impersonation with you on V2K like as if they were your dead sister?
No, they haven't. No, they
Good.
haven't. But
Mm.
but they have done that with my granddaughter. When I was still
Impersonating someone that you love and care about.
right, and they
Yeah.
pretended like they shot her and stuff.
They do that too with me, with pretending like that. Now they do that to themselves a lot. They pretend like, oh, uh, uh, a couple of them that are in close proximity to me here will pretend like, oh, I shot my mother, or my mother just shot me, blah blah, that kind of crap.
Right, right.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Yeah, and yeah, they did that with my granddaughter, and actually, I was like, okay, and this was like I had moved from the one place that I was renting, moved in with a friend. They basically ran me out of that place over to and I went and stayed with one of my girlfriends.
Now, are they
Uh,
targeting that? Are they targeting that friend now?
you know, they were, I believe, when I was
Yeah,
staying there. This was in Hawaii.
they
Um,
probably still are.
yeah, yeah, I think they are. She hasn't really said anything. She's actually the one who helped me start investigating what was going on. And
Then I pretty much guarantee they're targeting her now. If she was willing to help you,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they're definitely targeting her now.
yeah, and she's actually been very beneficial into a lot of stuff that I've learned and stuff. I know the last night I was there at this one spot when they had first started doing this to me. Um, they had I caught them actually coming into my yard, and I was up on the top balcony. It was a two-story place, and I was up on the top balcony, and I was eating dinner. It had just gotten dark, and I saw these people like sneaking across, and they stopped at the house right next door to me. And I was watching them. I didn't have my lights on in my house or anything. I
Right.
just finished eating. And so I'm watching them. And so one of the guys jumped up into the yard, and this girl, um, her and this older lady who I know now is the one they call grandma. Um, they come out, they're talking to this guy. The younger girl, she was like 16, 17 at the time. She jumped down with the guy, and they came over into my backyard. So I went out onto my deck and caught them, right? And they stopped. And so I didn't have my phone. I wanted to call the police right then and there because I'd already called them like 3 times. Um, but I didn't have my phone on me. And I was like, well, I'm going to let you go this time, but I don't want to catch you here again. Well, they went running into the bushes when I went to get my phone. And so I took a picture of that because I could still see them.
Because they knew you were going to go get your phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
As soon as they do that, they run.
well, so what happened was I took a picture of where they were hiding in the bushes because I had cut all that back that day. And yeah, and then they like disappeared from there. But right after that, so I'm in the house and I hear these drums, and I went and looked outside. There were like 75 plus people, like literally circled around my house.
75? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. I'm like going, where'd all these people come from? It was scary to me, because I live by myself.
Right.
and
Right.
and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I called my girlfriend, one of my girlfriends, and she came over with this guy, a friend of hers, who I knew as well. And so they drove up, and those people were still there.
No way.
And yeah, they were still there, just standing there.
What the hell?
And
It's
so
intimidation.
yeah, they get out. My girlfriend gets out of the car, and she's like, "Oh my God, what is going on here?" So I came to the door, and I was like, come on, I'll explain it to you. So they come in the house, and I said, I got to spend the night at your house because of this, because I don't know what the heck's going on here. Da 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 da. And so I said, I think it has something to do with gang stalking, but I'm not sure, because I saw it on YouTube, and it sounds exactly what's going on with me. This is when I was first learning about it and stuff. And so her and I started, mainly her, she was like looking up all this stuff and about it. And she was like, oh my gosh, and they have it here on Maui too, and da 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 da, and, and so weird. So I stayed the night at her house, and the very next day when I went back, they were like, oh my God, it was crazy. It was during the day, and they were actually in the trees.
No way.
Yeah, around my house, trying to pretend they're not there. Of course, they were in camouflage clothes, but I saw one of them doing hand signals. Yeah, I
Holy
saw,
fuck.
and so I started doing the hand signals back, exactly the ones he was doing. So, because and then he realized I was watching him, and so he goes back further into the tree, and I kept doing the hand signals because I could still see him, right? And he eventually went around to the other side of the trees where I couldn't see him and stuff. And so then I said, I'm not staying here anymore. That's it. And I just left.
That's what I know. When you get to the point where you want to pack up and go, you don't care what's going on. It doesn't matter where you're working or whatever.
I understand that, but there's this old saying, the devil you know versus the devil you don't.
Right.
Follow you is the problem.
Because if you move to a different area,
they follow you.
They're gonna follow you.
Well,
and you're not gonna have, you're not gonna have that, that familiarity with, oh, I recognize that perp, or I know this perp, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But,
see, I do know who some of them are, because Maui's a small island, okay, and I've lived there many years. I know a lot of people over there, but what had happened when this first started was this particular girl who was next door, her and this, and she was like 16, 17 at the time. And there was this other little girl with her who was like 12, 13 years old. And these two guys came over. I caught them twice, two different times, trying to go into the jacuzzi at my place. And at nighttime, at like 2, 3 in the morning. And it had woken me up. And so the second time I caught them, I was like pissed. I didn't go outside because I didn't know who the heck they were, and I didn't know if they, I didn't want to get hurt or anything, but I just went to my window and I was like, get off the property. I'm going to call the police, da, 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 da. And they went running off onto the golf course, turning cartwheels and doing whatever, and stuff. But it started right after that is when it actually started. So
I have a question for you. What sort of talents do you have?
Talents?
Creative talents.
Well, I used to make jewelry, like a lot. And at the time, I was just mostly doing caregiving, like long hours, really long hours.
Oh, okay. We've established you're a good person. You help people. That is a prerequisite for being a target. A desire to help people.
That's me.
Creativity is another. If you have artistic ability, sing, dance, if you have a creative ability, crafts, you have a craft ability, you have a creative talent.
Mm-hmm.
They capitalize on those. Like I said, I do a lot of research. I've done a lot of research on gang stalking. That's all I'm doing is research on the technology, the tactics of gang stalkers, and there is a consensus across the board, such as like Cy here. He draws. I'm an artist. I'm a musician. Others
Mm-hmm.
that are musicians, artists, um, mathematicians, things that are creative, crafts. If you write, they're going that those are things that they capitalize on, and they try to steal intellectual property. If you have ideas a lot, if you think of new ways of thinking, they capitalize on that. So it's not that targets have nothing to offer, it's exactly the opposite. Yeah, you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have a
Well,
lot to offer. That's what it is. But
mm-hmm.
go ahead, continue. I just wanted to interject there.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, so as I went and after that I had gone to stay with a friend just until I could get another place because I had left that one really so quickly. Um, and it was like, it was weird. One day, all of a sudden, I hear that girl's voice, like right next door. Um, and I was like going, oh my God, don't tell me I moved into the same neighborhood where she lives. And I was like, oh my gosh, how could that be?
Did she follow you there then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they sure did. And her and the grandma, um, so-called grandma, which actually, um, when I was listening to your thing and then I woke up this morning, I was like going, maybe I need to rethink that if that's really her. I mean, she calls her grandma and stuff and has all this time. And I'm thinking technically it is, but I don't know if it actually is her grandma. Um, and I never really actually thought for sure it was, but I knew, and I do know that they're not going to call each other their real names. Okay. So, but I'm pretty sure this grandma is like kind of a head in charge of everything. And there's also one that she calls dad,
Mm-hmm.
her dad. So when I woke up this morning and it was like in this
Do,
sexual,
do they present themselves as family, such as the people that target me do?
this is like this, the first time I noticed anything about a dad was um, probably like a year after this had started, and all of a sudden it was one night, um, and I heard this guy come next door, and he had been, I don't know, gone. He just had gotten back from somewhere by the way that they were talking and stuff. And I was like, is that her dad or something? And I'm thinking to myself, and she's been calling him dad ever since. And there's grandma, dad, there's a mom, um, and that's it as far as family goes. But there's other people involved in it that I specifically know that are involved in it.
Well, what I mean is do they imply to you that they are a family, like as in a mafia type group, or you know what I mean? Do they refer to themselves as the family?
Oh no, they don't refer to themselves as the family or anything like that. But
Well,
they but
like a family.
but they do try when they talk to, like, the others don't call them mom or dad or grandma, anything like, it's only her.
Uh huh.
And so I don't know how that all equates to the whole thing, whether they're trying to make me think that that is her family or what the trip is.
Uh-huh.
But I try, as far as what I think is going on, this particular girl, I do believe knew and knows my granddaughter. They're the same age. And they went to school in like elementary.
Now, what you're talking about is some of the things they say to each other on V2K, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what happened was when they first used my granddaughter's name, I had talked to my granddaughter on the phone, and I heard her while I was talking to my granddaughter, I heard her say, "Oh my God, that I know Tahiti. She's my friend from school," or something like that, right? And then
Mhm.
so then later I'm thinking, and I'm trying to think which one of my granddaughter's girlfriends was this that she knew, kind of thing. So I started talking to my granddaughter about the girls that she had brought over to the house and that kind of thing, right?
Right.
Because I used to think it was this one other girl. So my granddaughter's, no, she lives in Colorado. I go, no, are you sure? I said, make her send you a picture of like right now, today's picture. I have it dated. I want to know for sure. Um, all this stuff, but and then I realized it was actually this other girl who she knows. But what happened was had used my granddaughter's voice from that phone call, um, and made it like she was there with them one night,
Hmm.
and then they were like, because they were saying they were going to shoot me, da 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 da, all this stuff, right?
I get that all day, every day, Mo.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do too, pretty much. And
Yeah.
but this is when they first started doing this, so and then all of a sudden you hear this like gunshot, and then when the girl goes, "Oh my God, you shot Tahiti," it was like that, and I was like, "What
That's
the?"
exactly the kind of game they play with me.
Yeah,
Exactly. Just different people.
yeah. And so then I was like, at first I got kind of upset. And then I was like, okay, wait a second. I'm like going, wait a second. Um, so I told him, I go, okay, if you just shot her, I want to see her body. I want you, because they were like in one of the houses, or like in the area, right? I said, if you did, I want to see her body right here and now. Otherwise, you know where you can go, da 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 da,
It's all fake,
Um,
though.
yeah, yeah.
It's all
So,
fake scenario. It's all a drama in the Sued skit that they're presenting to people, whoever they're streaming their crap to.
hmm,
Yeah. But yeah,
yeah,
I understand the need to want them to prove anything.
right. Yeah, and was in the beginning part of the whole thing, So, and then so since I moved, so I moved to Oklahoma, was there, and of course they followed me there. Um, and now I'm in Texas, and they followed me here.
Well, that
So,
uh, as far as the following you, someone I haven't seen from for or anything from for a while online. Her name is Amal. She moved from the U.S. to the UK. They followed her. She moved to Spain, and they followed her, and was posting videos about it. And haven't heard anything from her in a long time. So you know, but the story is true. They'll follow you wherever you go.
yeah,
Um, it's a worldwide conspiracy, crime organization. They are funded. They are obviously well funded. That they can have no life other than gang stalking. So they're obviously well funded.
The hard part is getting people to believe us. People think we're nuts.
That's the point
Right.
there, and that's kind of why I did reach out for you to come talk, Mo, because I've never seen you before,
Hmm.
and I wanted to give you a chance to at least talk about your story.
Oh yeah, they've been freaking out all day because they knew I was going to be doing this with you, and of course they've been saying all kinds of things all day, trying to harass me and all this crap. So,
It,
but
if there's any other time that you need want to talk to me, and I'm not on here, you can either email me at I'll put my email down here,
okay.
and or you can contact me on Facebook. My name's Scott L. Schmier on Facebook,
Okay.
and anytime you want to message me or whatever, if I don't get back to you right at the minute, but I promise I will get back to you.
Yeah, and my sister that
But there's my Gmail.
oh, thank you so much. And my sister that's here in Texas, I have two sisters here in Texas. Um, she knows what she does. She's never experienced it, well, so far anyway. Um, but she knows of it, so she does believe what I'm going through. She just doesn't really know to the extent, even though I try and explain to her. And I actually had her listen to your video from last night as I was taking her to the doctor today, so that she would kind of get a little more insight into what was actually going on. So
Well,
she lived.
I do try to be as literal and concise with the facts as I can. I try not to speculate,
Right.
because like speculation about God, religion, aliens, all that. No one needs to hear that.
Right.
They need to hear the technology and the tactics, because
Hmm.
the ideology of religion and aliens or reptiles, that just makes you sound even more crazy. Just
Exactly.
telling
Hmm.
the people what's happening to you is crazy enough.
Right. Right.
That's why
Right.
I love SHP's channel. She goes into the hacking. That's what I have a lot of, and
The tactics, and yes, that's I've watched her
I
channel
love
too,
her
and
channel.
Yeah,
it,
I've been following her for a few years now, and she's very informative and stuff. And I've actually done some of the research that she's suggested and stuff and written it down. I mean, I've been writing basically it's pretty much a daily log for, gosh, for several years already. Um, and then I stopped, and I think it's them actually like making me not interested in doing it, because the last time I had written anything down was in July, and I was actually pretty much every day writing. And all of a sudden, I was like, I need to get back to writing my notes, because I haven't done that in a long time, and I don't know why I haven't.
I know
So
a lot of people stopped in July. It was weird. Facebook, like a lot of people stopped writing in July.
really,
Yeah, I saw it today when I was looking.
wow.
It was really weird.
um,
Yeah,
I,
so I started doing that again, writing everything that's from morning to night that's been going on and stuff. So,
now I don't know if you've heard of this, but as for some of my research, the ability they have to manipulate people,
hmm.
their routines, their patterns, um, it's hypnotism. They use social cues, emotional regressive tactics to cause you to feel a certain kind of way via remote neuromonitoring. Now, I understand, TI News, that you don't get V2K and you're not getting the dreams and stuff, but I will guarantee you are being remote neuromonitored. They could turn V2K on you any time they want. I know you're probably going, oh, you're crazy, but I'm just telling you. They're watching you just like they're watching me and Mo.
Yeah,
They're,
you want to hear
they're,
something
they're
interesting?
just not being overt with you about it.
They, I remember after I had left the first place I was at when it first started, and then when I realized they were in the neighborhood, I remember one night specifically listening to them. They were like, because I didn't know too much about it at the time, but the girl who had started this with me, I call her Perv for pervert, short for pervert, because that's what it is to me when they watch me bathe and shower and whatever.
You can call them asshole all you want. I like to call them assholes.
Yeah, well, I call her name's Perv. So, anyway, she was listening because this is like right next door to where I was, and they were out on the back porch. Okay, their back porch, and
Keep
there
talking
was
over here.
there was like a group of people there, and they were on some kind of video conference thing talking to this older man, and they were talking about me, and I believe she actually got upgraded into a different level of whatever group whatever they call themselves. I think she actually got promoted at that particular night, and stuff. And I remember specifically him asking her all these questions, and she said, and he was like, "Good job, you did a good job, da 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 da. You've been going all night long for all this time and getting all this da 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 and all this stuff." And I was like, "Oh my God, what kind of a thing is this?" It's like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But So, and that's when I realized that it was like a really super big organization, because I'm like going, what the heck? And stuff. But yeah.
That's the main premise to why we as targets are unable to do anything effectual legally, mainstream wise, because everything you try to do is stonewalled. I mean, I've messaged ABC News on Facebook. They say thank you for your input, and we'll get back to you. They never get back to you.
Nobody will.
No, that's it right there. Ti, nobody will, because it's so corrupted. They've infested every stage, hospitals, government, social network,
They have
platforms,
that guy, Dr. Grande.
everything,
They got that
political,
Dr. Grande on YouTube.
everything.
Dr. Grande on YouTube is making it look like we're all schizo. If you click in gang stalking, he says they're all suffering a delusion and they're schizo. He ruined it.
He is just proving that he is part of
Yeah.
the conspiracy by saying that, because
Yeah.
none of us are schizo. I mean,
Right.
when they try to infuse the idea that you're schizophrenic or paranoid because you're hearing voices or you're seeing this stuff happening. Look, I have recorded hours and hours of so-called voices in my head on this tablet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if these are just voices in your head, you're not fucking gonna get them on a tape recorder.
Yeah, and I've recorded them too.
So they need to stop that, because that's just ludicrous, and it makes them look crazy, because I mean, actual evidence, and people will come in here in the chat. Oh, you're not recording anything. You're not recording anything. I don't hear anything. They're lying, because um, they're either they're lying, or they're just, you know, not listening, because I don't know if you've listened to any of them, but every one of my recordings has a group of several people with a couple of voices that are prevalent in the foreground and others in the background.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. So it's not ambient noise. Like I said to Ti earlier here. I could sit here right now. I could turn this on, and I could record for 2 minutes, right? Just record for 2 minutes with nobody talking, and then play it back, and you're going to hear V2K on
Mm-hmm. I listened to one of yours when about a week ago, I think it was.
it. And it's not imagined behavior. It's not something I'm faking. Uh, I'm doing it right in front of people's faces. It's not. There's this is an ordinary RCA Endeavor 10 tablet. You can get it at Target, wherever you can get it. I haven't done anything to it. I use the regular sound recorder that is preloaded on it with the microphone that comes with it. It's not. I'm not manipulating the sound. I mean, right in front
Where
of
do you
you.
put the mic?
You don't have a chance. I don't have a chance to manipulate it. I do it right in front of your face. So it's not
Well,
like I can.
the first time I tried it, which was a few years ago, I just used regular headset thing because I was like, well, if it I can hear it through my ears, da da da. I'm wondering if I plug the earphones into my ear, if it'll record it. So I tried it, and it actually worked. It actually picked up some voices, and I was like, oh my god, this works.
Yeah.
I was and yeah, so once in a while, I don't do it like every night when I go to sleep, but sometimes when I go to sleep, I'll just turn on the recorder. I put the headset in my ear, and I just go to sleep, and I just let it play
Well,
because I know
for a
that because
while
I know.
there, for a while there, when I was going to bed, before I was going to bed, I would just turn it on and let it record. I'd set it right here, like where I'm
Uh-huh.
sitting right here on my closed tablet, or on my
Mm-hmm.
closed my laptop, and just set the tablet here and let it record overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some that I haven't listened to the whole thing through, because, you know, I just don't want to sit there
Mm-hmm.
for
Takes a lot of time.
for 8 hours
I have
and
that
listen
Right,
to
too.
it.
right.
But I'll listen to a, you know, half hour or an hour of it and post it on my site here. And just some of the stuff that they say, people will ask me, you know, what are they saying? You know, it's hard to understand what they're saying. The the but for the listener, but I can tell what they're saying, because I've heard it and I know what they've said, but
Mm-hmm.
I hear it at the same time. Now there's this other weird aspect. Even though those are recordings, even though those are recordings, this is how I caught remote neural monitoring. During playback on my channel here, I was playing one of the recordings that I did, and it was like a 30-minute one. And I typed some stuff in the chat, right? And you hear them repeating what I'm typing. I'm not saying anything. I'm not speaking. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here typing it. But you hear in the recording that was months old that I'm playing back, you hear them saying the same things that I'm typing. So however the remote neural monitoring frequency works, or the the technology works, that's weird. I'm still researching on how that's possible that they're doing that they can actually add to a recording that I'm playing what I'm typing, and I'll sit there and I'll be reading it like I would be reading like what Sai says ban his ass. It would come up in that recording.
If you ever have a good one, I can do a remix. I got a sound machine here. I can slow it down, speed it up, bend the pitch, and all that.
Well,
Reverse it.
if you want to look,
I can do all that.
Ti, if you want to, go through any of my videos and
I can clean it up.
actually try and do that, and as long as you give me credit and copy me some of that shit, I would be happy to let you use any of it, any and all of it.
You just drop me a list of your top 3 or 5 or whatever you think are good.
The main one I would really like to have cleaned up to where you could hear them actually admitting some of the people that started my targeting, like Audio Slave, Mike Miller, John Dillard, those people. I'll point the video out to you, and I'll give you a link to it, and you can play with it all you want.
That would be great.
I love mixing sound.
Ears are the only place the vagus nerve is at the surface of the skin. Actually, your auditory nerves are connected to the cochlea. It's not connected to the surface of your skin. Yeah, I could show you a diagram if you like. It's not connected to the surface of your skin.
I don't know anything about. I can't answer.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that either.
Well, like I said, I do a lot of research. I've been doing a lot of scientific research and a lot of articles and patent information. As I've found, the Taos hum.
Well, I know about that one.
Was
some research on that.
Experimentation for the hypersonic sound waves that they used as part of this, like as in for audio spotlight and harp.
Mystery booms too.
They're all interconnected. All this technology is tied together.
We used to blame it on fracking, these noises.
But like I said, I've been researching this stuff. I've been just off and on every day for almost 3.5, almost 4 years now, and just anything I could absorb to do with gang stalking, the tactics, the technology, patent information, historical values, such to do with MK Ultra, Montauk experiments.
Oh yeah,
DARPA, all of these different programs. The military God weapon that they called it, that they used in Afghanistan to make the terrorists turn around and walk away. This is part of it.
There's a YouTube video on that vagus nerve hack.
Yeah, they
There's a video on
it. They were speaking to them in their heads like they were God. So because they know that their religious faiths were really strong, and they were able to make them just run away because God's telling us to leave. So they don't know that it's the military standing in front of them, but but it's the technology that these military personnel are using to make them scared of the Almighty and telling them, look, you're doing the wrong thing, blah, 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 turn around and go away. All of that, all of it is tied in together. All the different patents, the different technologies that have to do with remote neural monitoring, EMF, ELF, EEG, EKG. All of them are intertwined.
Yeah, my idea is to create
the
an
gang
EMP,
stalking
get an EMP and blow them up.
it's all intertwined in the gang stalking technology that they're using to monitor your dreams, monitor every thought you have, and they monitor every single thought you have.
Yes, they do.
Every word you think, every
Yep.
image you imagine, anything, everything you've remembered. They can see every paper you've ever signed, every document you've ever looked at, every television program you've ever seen. They can find all of it, and they find it all through your visual cortex, and they can pull it up just like it's a monitor. Everything you're seeing right now, you're watching me, yourself, and TI on the screen. They are seeing that. They are hearing this. They're hearing me every time I'm starting to formulate a thought about it. And they're doing the same, and they're doing the same to you.
What are they doing with the information?
They don't need cameras. They don't need microphones. You are the camera. You are the microphone.
Yep.
What are they doing with the information?
They try and use it against you.
A lot of it they're selling on the deep web to create Frankenstein fraud, which they create a fictitious entity out of partial information created from your identity, mixed with a fictitious entity where they file for bank accounts, get cars, loans, but there's no actual trail back to you or them because neither one exists. Look up Frankenstein fraud. Just Google it yourself sometime. Google Frankenstein fraud, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They're selling your information, all or in part, and creating another identity out of it. Not linked to you, not linked to them, linked to nobody, but they have access.
I've had texts come on my sister's phone, my sister that was living in Oklahoma before, saying, Maureen, the money was deposited in your account,
You don't even have an account there.
And I was like, I didn't even have a bank account at the time. And I'm like, really?
And you weren't even able to contact them, were you?
Right. It had a link thing there, but I didn't want to push on it. It was my sister's phone, and I didn't want to mess her phone up or anything. I was like, oh my God.
The reason why I'm saying you wouldn't have been able to contact them or make a connection, because it would have been done through another number, say using an online phone program or an online burner account.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be linked. It's not going to be linked to you, your address, any information that pertains to you or the other individual. It's all. It's
I just recorded it.
It's a ghost.
Yeah, I just recorded it. Every time something like that happens, I would just write everything down, write everything that was on there down so that I would have it. I have a page that's just stuff that comes up, weird stuff on my phone kind of thing.
It's a ghost account, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they use partially your information, but not enough to where it can be, led completely back to you or the other individual that created it. Just look up Frankenstein fraud, and you'll see some of what I'm saying. And this, like I said, I don't just talk out of my ass. Okay, when I say something, I have to have some kind of pertinent information that goes along with it. I'm not just, you know, if you're in a position like we are right now, you cannot be willy-nilly with things you say anymore.
You must need to do a thing like, SHP, do a document thing with the V2K, and kind of document it, like explain it on a spreadsheet or how it works.
Kind of like the one you showed where the lady was explaining how the
microwave one, or
the court cases, or the you showed a 93-page document.
Yeah, that was the affidavit of
the affidavit. That's
it. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, you did a video on that?
I did with an affidavit of gang stalking. That a 93 questionnaire. This lady did, and I got to take like an hour.
Things that pertain to gang stalking and all the effects of it.
It was so
things
long.
that you could possibly bring to court.
Right. I recently ran across that. I was thinking about doing that, just so I could have it. So I could have it. So because I do want to eventually take these people to court.
Yeah, it was real well done. I spent a lot of time on it. Whoever made it, I forgot her name.
It was Kathy, Dr. Kathy
mentioned
something.
That before, John. Yeah. What's this IP 778?
Yeah, I googled that. I didn't get anything.
What is that?
He said some search engine. I couldn't find it. I looked it up. I Googled it. Nothing came up. It says algebra or something. Or maybe it's the Great Search Engine Journal. I don't know. 20 great search.
I don't know.
Some of the search engine, I think, is what it is.
But anyway, Mo, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I'm pretty good.
You have more to talk about. You weren't done yet.
No, there's always stuff to talk about with this stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm good. I'm good for now. I really appreciate you guys, talking with me and stuff, because I haven't talked with anybody who this is going through this. I don't know anyone personally who is that I can actually talk with.
Exactly, in person. I know you.
Yeah. So it's really helpful to me, and stuff. And I just wish, like, really, eventually, I hope there's something that everybody can do, to end this, because this is crazy. This is awful what they're doing to people. It's really awful.
Well, I have been interested in, I hadn't really followed up on where to start at, but forming like a coalition for TIs.
I was thinking about that earlier when I had to take a leak. I was thinking it would start out with the California one, at least.
You know what I mean? And have chapters, like, and actually get some form of community representation for us, because we are a very large group of domestically terrorized individuals.
I think people try to do it, and it fades out somehow. It never goes through all the way. I know there are people that try to have these rallies and so forth, and it doesn't seem to make.
I'm not talking about rallies. I'm talking about making something like ACLU or something like that.
A group where you actually meet and
try to
make some funding.
An organization.
You get something.
I mean, you've got PAX International, right? Have you ever heard of PAX?
No.
PATC, PAX International. they sort of represent what I'm trying to imply, but um, the 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 reality is there need to be support groups for people just like Mo. She says she's never been able to talk to anybody. You know, I mean, uh, set up a group, of sympathetic individuals that will listen to people rather than just give them the glassy eye like you're fucking crazy,
Right.
and blow them off when they're not crazy and this shit's really happening. And it would have to be of people that are like-minded and understand that this is happening. um, I know it's not just happening to laymen like me, and you. It's probably happening to lawyers, politicians, law enforcement, all kinds of different people that probably don't
Yeah.
talk about it.
They don't even
That
know
don't,
about it.
that don't talk about it because they aren't understanding that it's happening.
Right.
And
Yeah, they go to a doctor and they give them some pill or something. Here,
the
take it.
WHO, the World Health Organization, I tend to agree that um, with what John just said here about the World Health Organization, and now as far as Rothschilds, I'm not certain of that. I mean, but we do understand that they that family has a shitload of money and can pretty much get away with whatever they want.
Right.
But when you say the World Health Organization, I tend to agree, since they're trying to pass it off as mass psych, mass schizophrenia and paranoia. No matter what you're talking about here, it's always they throw back with the schizophrenia, and you need mental attention. You're not being attacked. You're just whacked. Which
Or you heard that one, the Havana syndrome is actually caused by what is it, the locust singing or whatever kind of thing. I was
Mhm.
like, what?
Well, in my research on the Havana syndrome, there are over 200 some odd diplomats, political groups, whatever, Pentagon officials, and CIA that are on the list claiming they were, attacked by these weapons.
Hmm.
But what really disturbs me about that is none of those uh, officials are federal. None of them are FBI officials. Yet they have the FBI investigating it. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me that the Central Intelligence Agency, the most prominent intelligence gathering agency in the world, needs the FBI to investigate this for them. And that there are no, per se, to speak of FBI agents, complaining about being attacked in this manner. That's just that just that raises a red flag for me.
Hmm.
Um, just personally, I'm going to keep looking into it, but if I don't get killed first, because I'm looking into it, talking
I
about
know,
this.
I know there's always that chance, and I'm like, I just can't go there anymore. I can't, like, oh my God, if I do this, they're gonna, no, I'm just gonna do what I need to do and um
It,
just
it
figure
isn't
it
gonna
out.
it isn't gonna get any worse for you, I don't think.
Yeah.
Um, how long have you said you've been targeted? Several years.
Yeah, about 6, 7 years.
So they pretty much there's not a lot more that I know of that they can do short, of the remote neural monitoring, the V2K, the trying to manipulate your personal information, your identity. They've done all that with me.
Well,
Make you
I
move,
think
do that.
I think now what they're going to be trying to do is, because I'm trying to get my own place here in Texas. I think they're going to be trying to stop that as much as they can. I'm staying with my one of my nieces here, and I applied for housing and stuff. And so I'm waiting for that, but I do think they'll probably try and stop that somehow. But
They
hopefully
do try
there's
to put a. They do try to stall you when you try to do anything.
right.
Staller,
Um,
just to take you out of the equation.
Oh yeah, and actually they actually I used to have a Bichon Frise when this first started. I used to have a Bichon Frise dog, and they killed her. She started having seizures, and she was in perfect health, and she started having seizures just out of the blue, and
They were
died on
doing R&M on your pet.
yeah, and just died on Christmas Day. This is the first year that the whole thing started, and I was like, oh, it was devastating to me. And I have two Maltese now, and they're constantly trying
What do you know?
to say that, oh, that's their dog, and I stole them, and all the. I mean, I have papers on
Yeah,
them and stuff,
they
but
they've tried to tell me they're going to take my dog and that it's my dog, their dog now. But yeah, they're
they just trying to play
do
with you
they do try to
emotionally is
manipulate
all.
your pets. They manipulate your pets.
Yeah, they do. They do that.
They're fucking me at work. This whole week's been nothing but I was almost quit yesterday. The same shipping label would print out from the day before. It's been going on for 2 weeks. I finally got a way around it.
They're mobbing you at work.
Oh, with the computers, I can't get nothing. I mean, I've been doing shipping for 20 years, and I can't get one thing right.
Oh no.
It's just like somehow the label from yesterday will automatically print out. I'm looking at today's label, and another label will print out. It's just insane.
Wow.
I finally got a solution for it. Each time I got to reset the printer spooler each time I print a label out and reset the whole thing to 0. It's a lot of extra work, but it worked today.
Right.
Yeah, they make it really hard for you even when you're working and
Oh
stuff.
my god, I wanted to quit yesterday. I couldn't take it anymore. And the UPS driver lost a couple packages. It's just like I've had it this week.
Gosh.
What's this you're talking about? This VNS therapy for depression, drug addiction, John? I understand that has something to do with the vagus nerve you're talking about, but the vagus nerve system therapy.
Yeah, you have to explain that a little bit deeper. You kind of cut it off.
But I'm not really experiencing depression. I'm more angry than anything else, and
I'm just worn down. I'm tired.
yeah, and I'm not a drug addict.
I'm
But
tired as
I,
fuck.
I would like to know what this VNS therapy is about. You want to come up and talk about it?
I'm at the point where I can't even drink anymore. I had one drink and I'm like done.
Want to come up and explain it? I would like to hear you explain it. Here, I'll put the link out again so you can come up here if you want. I would like to hear you talk about it. If you'd like.
Vegas, VNS. Sounds like something you go to Las Vegas. I don't know.
If you want to. The vagus nerve system.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I was hoping you'd come up and talk about it a little bit. Maybe next time.
Well, they have some treatment for insomnia relief, so on and so on. I'm looking at what he's talking about. But it goes into the mental health category, which I don't think we're in. He's leaning toward the different direction, I think, because it leads into mental health. Is where he's going with that.
If led the horse to water, it's up to you. I'm not
I think maybe we're all crazy and we need mental depression medication.
I'm not understanding what you mean by there. If led the horse to water, you're saying if you led the horse to water, you can't make him drink. I understand that, but what if led the horse to water? It's up to you. Or are you saying that you've posted the information and it's up to us to look it up? I mean,
I looked it up and it came up. I can post it right in the chat what it came up as if you want to see it. It's not. It says they're saying that you're mentally ill, basically.
Yeah, well, I'm not mentally ill, and I don't think either of you are mentally ill.
I mean, right there, if it'll fit in the chat, I'll put it in there and see if it makes it. It's not going. I think it's too long. It won't fit. It's not giving me the error. Let me try to post it in the back chat.
What's that?
Okay, yeah. If you read the private chat, I posted it.
Okay. One of four technologies innovating mental health. Forbes FDA cleared only 20 minutes today. Rapid depression treatment, 30-day trial, free shipping, 100% free returns, Black Friday sale types, free prescription, rapid depression relief, rapid anxiety relief, depression treatment, anxiety treatment, insomnia treatment, rapid insomnia treatment or relief.
That's what I got out of the search using his search engine.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, this the sleep deprivation that they perpetrate on individuals is in no way tied to a mental malfunction of the individual. It's a forced, induced consequence of their action via EMF, microwave radiation, and manipulation of your occipital lobe, which causes you to stay awake.
I went for a huge walk tonight too, and it helps a little bit. I got to go on a long walk every night. I finally got one in tonight.
They're able to connect to your entire nervous system, your visual cortex, your auditory nerves, your if you ever get like do you get the like twitching, Mo? Just curious. The twitching muscles that you can't control.
I have before around my eyes and stuff, but not too much. No.
I get burning feet. That's about it.
That's part of to do with the heating. The microwave heating. At least that's
right now.
That's my understanding.
I do get the ringing in the ear once in a while, and actually at least once a day, at least.
Mine's almost 24/7. It's horrible.
What's that? The burning?
No, the ringing in the ear.
Oh, the ringing. Yeah, it's all the time for me, 24/7.
Same here.
Same with the V2K. Even though they're not really they're not really talking really loud right now. They haven't really been, like I said, being obnoxious with the V2K for like the last month.
Mine sounds like an E. He just goes E.
Yeah, squeaking. Yeah, it's a high pitched whine.
Right.
Yeah, but the V2K, they haven't really been and like in some of my recordings, some of it is louder than other times, that they've modulated the frequency higher to where it's a lot more high pitched whiny clicking sounding than it is an actual linear sound.
I thought I heard some clicking earlier in the stream. It was a really weird
Well,
clicking sound.
you can go back to some of my videos and you can actually hear them in the background doing V2K, performing their stream or whatever while I'm just doing my video. You'll hear snippets of them talking in the background and doing whatever they're talking about in some of my videos. Like we were talking about, you say you do a little sound editing and whatever. I'll if you want to, like, in the back here, give me your email. I'll email you some of them, some of the links to the videos, if you want. That I personally would think you would find it fun to toy with some of the recordings. If you want to give me your email.
Yeah, I'll go back and send you an email. That's up there. Hold on.
Or well, since I gave you my email, you can just send me an email and we can confer that way.
Back up in the chat a little bit here somewhere. I've seen it. Let me see where it's at.
Yeah, I put it up on top here. I'll put it on the screen.
I got it.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get to it.
But I'm gonna. I had a little bit of a question from somebody that I was watching someone's video, and a person they had on as a guest that is creating a shielding technology and also a detector. And I haven't heard from him in like a week or more or so, but I've been conferring back and forth to him about research and stuff, and led him on to a few of my videos that had recordings of V2K on it. And basically the ones where I actually in real time caught V2K and live in front of you, and the remote neural monitoring happening live in front of you. And he's got prototypes, but he's thinking they're trying to get an actual sellable unit to people that that can. It's got basically like a jammer that stops, that will shield you from RNM, V2K, and also has a detector that you can use to find out exactly who and where
Who's making it?
it's coming from. Yes.
Who's making the detector?
I don't want to mention their name. Sorry, but I'll tell you in an email. Okay.
I'm an electronics guy too. I build it.
I'll tell you in an email, because he is searching for people. It was on one of, I think, I'll have to go back through my history and find out what video it is, but he's actually looking for people that are willing to help them. It's like if you're saying you build stuff like that.
I made one, and I think it's kind of dangerous, so I stopped using it.
He might be interested in maybe employing your services to help with their
I made a electromagnetic frequency electromagnet dephase thing that will block the signal out, but it might be damaging to your brain with the.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't really want his name.
Yeah, you don't have to give me his name
out there.
Just a reference to what he's making or something.
The guy's name is Dave Rubel. I'm just going to tell you that.
Okay.
and it was on a video I was watching about. He's talking about the equipment that he's making and his experience with being targeted and all that. And they're actually trying to make, you know, a product that they can sell but cheaply enough, and to, you know, people like us that, you know, might not have a lot of money to waste and spend on, you know, not waste, but spend on having equipment to protect ourselves from something that we aren't, you know,
Right.
we didn't subject ourselves to. I mean, I personally, I'm on disability. I barely pay my bills, so if it's $200 or $300, I'm not going to be able to afford one.
Right.
I've researched the Q wave. You can get a Q wave that's supposed to help you quite a bit, but you know, the cheapest one's like $200, and I don't have $200 to put into something that, in the hopes that it might, you know, dumb down the V2K a little bit. I'd just rather suffer with the V2K than, you know, than not be able to pay my
Yeah,
my cable bill or my electric bill.
Probably cost a couple $100. That's the thing I made.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know if you've watched D Howlett. He's a targeted individual in the UK. She builds a lot of different
I think
equipment.
that's the girl on my channel. I don't know her name, but is it Target Individuals Help?
Yeah, TI Help. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
D
have
Howlett.
her. I have her linked on my page.
That's D Howlett.
Yeah. I watch all her stuff.
And
She does some good work.
very, very smart and nice person, and knows what the hell she's talking about.
Oh yeah, she sure does. I watched about 10 of her videos and commented on them.
She's not screwing around either. She's building. She wants to make a watch.
She's got a lab and everything.
Yeah, she's trying to build it down to where she can make a watch with this, but she's using Arduino stuff right now.
Yeah, no, she'd be the best one probably to come up with something. Would be her. I've been following her lately.
Well, she actually has. It's just that she shows you how to do it, but you'll have to spend the money and the time yourself to build it.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I've seen some.
Yeah.
Oh.
I watch her a lot, and
she's got one with a breadboard with 100 wires in it. I'm like,
breadboards. Yeah, she uses her own breadboards all the time. But she's actually made one she put in a little box that she uses on herself, and like it's connected to a little helmet that she wears under her hat. But yeah, if you've never watched D Howlett's channel, it's TI Help, capital TI.
Yeah, Target Individuals Help.
Yeah.
Individuals Help.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't heard of her.
Yeah, she's really good.
And I wouldn't be so sure that if you were not to get in contact with her, that she would build you one if you paid her to build one.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if she would not be willing to do that.
She has all the equipment. I'll probably be getting shipped to her. Shipping is always a pain.
Yeah. The shipping cost would probably cost more than any of the equipment you're talking about. I mean, those Arduinos and stuff are cheap. You can get them cheap.
Right.
But the putting it together, be willing to pay her for her time and whatever. But I've talked to her quite a bit about it. Regarding research and all that. Seems like a nice person. And
she's a wild one. Really,
they're hitting her really hard. And oh, you just emailed me a link here. Let me look. Maybe I can look at what's going on here for the Vegas stuff. I am not seeing anything. I haven't received it yet.
I sent you a link. See if you got my link about it'll say TI News.
I haven't got either one.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, are you sure you got it to Scotty Lee Schmear at gmail.com?
I copied it right from the Yeah, that's the right email.
Huh. I haven't got anything yet.
So sent.
Well, let me see. Let me look in.
Might be in the
Maybe
trash or
maybe
spam.
it put it in spam or something.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, yeah. See, um, your target's where?
Yeah, targets we are. Yep.
Yeah, it put both of you. It put both of you in spam. That's fucked up. Okay, well, I'm gonna look at what the I'm gonna pull this link up that John sent me, and I'm gonna read some of this. Well, here's the link. It's I'm not gonna give you the link, but I'm gonna scan right through this real quick here.
Well, I'm
John,
going to let you guys go.
It has a lot
you're
of
gonna
information.
let us go. Okay.
Okay.
She's kicking
And,
herself off the stream. Well, nice
Yeah.
having you, Mo.
and I but I
Well,
have
thank you so much.
My name is Will, by the way.
Hi,
I'm gonna
Will.
I'm gonna take them out of spam because I know you guys aren't spam. Okay, I took them out of spam. But thanks for coming, Mo.
Thank you.
Anytime,
You guys stay safe.
any other time you want to come and talk, I'd be happy to talk. Now, like I
Okay,
said, you
thank
have my email, or you can if you just say who you are on Facebook and add me. I don't pretty much don't just add anyone anymore. I used to just add everybody, but since this happened, I pretty much have to know what's going on before I'll add somebody.
Right.
But if you leave like a message and
Okay.
why you're adding me, and I'll know.
Okay.
But it's just my name, Scott L. Schmear,
Okay.
on Facebook, and or you can email me anything you want to do, and I'll be glad to talk to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Okay, appreciate
Bye.
it. You
Okay.
have a good
Bye-bye.
night.
Okay. You too.
Have a good one.
Yeah, but as far as you're right. I'm unconsenting Scott. You damn right. That's me. Um, uh, I know that was what you put the email as, but the the real gist is that there's not any kind of support group for us. So when Mo actually said that what I was talking about in my last video was happening to her, I interacted with her a little bit, and she's never talked to anybody about it. And I just, I basically did this video for her, so that she could talk a little bit. And she definitely seems to have had some really rough experiences with it. But unless you have something else you'd like to add, TI News, I think I'm gonna
And yeah, I
yeah
hear you.
in this broadcast.
I think John's done too. John, you got anything else to say? Put it in the chat. If not, we'll
Yeah,
call it a night.
MPEG
I think
media.
MPEG is more like a decoding for a video. It's a format.
Yeah. Well, I am of the firm opinion, after a little bit of my research, that a lot of their broadcast is done via mesh network, not so much as actual internet. That they have mesh networks, and they link them together, and whoever they invite has access to it, so they can say and do whatever they want, without any kind of FCC or legal repercussions as to his copyright or anything like that. They can say and do whatever they want.
Gotcha.
And but cheers to you, John. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for spending time with me here, TI News. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad
no
to have
problem.
you on.
I had a free night tonight.
Anytime you want to come in and chat again, I'd be happy.
Sure. Get to the
If you ever
bottom of
want
this.
me,
We got to
if
get
you ever want me
everybody.
to come on to your channel and blab with you, I'll be happy to do that
Sure.
too. Yeah, well, I'm talking about. I understand it means something different in medical research, but I'm talking about mesh networks. It's a form of, it's like internet, but it's not internet, and you can create it as large or small as you want using little devices.
I think
that you put in.
SHP talks about the mesh network.
Yeah, they're definitely using a mesh network of some sort, and in collaboration with Wi-Fi and satellite-based stuff, but they used a mesh network to keep away from being screwed over with copyrights and FCC regulation. But because there's no regulation on it, you can do whatever you want on your own network. So we're going to end this. You guys have a great night, and thanks for coming out.
Have a good one, and get some sleep. That's what I'm going to try to do.
All right, now.
Good luck
You
on
take
the
care.
sleep. Take care.
Yeah, you go get some sleep. You got to work tomorrow, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, you better go.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right.